Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to start UiPath tutorial series where we will begin our journey from zero to mastering UiPath to an advanced level. Whether you are a beginner or have a little bit of experience on UiPath, this course is for you because this course is designed to take you step by step in the world of RPA and automation. In the beginning, we will cover a little bit of theory and then we'll dive into all practical. Remember one thing, you should start practicing with me so that you understand all the concepts and also build the skill in yourself to implement them in the real-time project. So get ready to automate with me step by step. Now you might have one question, why UiPath? Because UiPath is one of the famous automation tool and it is not only RPA automation, UiPath also provides you AI machine learning based automation. So we will get into more details in the upcoming videos, but today let's start with signing up to UiPath and installing UiPath Studio in our system. So for that, let's go to cloud.uipath.com where we will register our email ID so that we can log into UiPath Orchestrator and download UiPath Studio. So once you go to cloud.uipath.com, you will see this screen. Now, as we are going to use community version of UiPath Studio, we have to click on this link, Get Automation Cloud for Community. So once we click here, we need to enter email ID and the password. So now it is asking for one-time password which will be sent to the email ID. So we'll paste the OTP there. Now it is asking for some more information like the display name and the country. So we'll enter my channel name here. As you can see, I'm entering a Bihari coder and then the country I am selecting. Then we have to select the state. Now it is asking for a cloud organization name. We can give any unique name here. I will give my channel name only. You can use your name or any other words as well. Now click on create organization. So once you clicked, it will start creating the cloud organization and then it will take us to UiPath Orchestrator. So now you can see here we have a default tenant. Now the first thing we have to do is to download the UiPath Studio desktop. So we'll click on download a Studio desktop link. Once we click here, it will start downloading on a Studio installer. As you can see, it is downloading here. It's of 626 MB. So once it is downloaded, we will start the installation. So now there are two options here. One is quick and the custom. As we are a community user and we don't want to do any unattended setup or any other advanced thing, so we will go with quick setup. Accept the terms in the license agreement and we'll click on install button. It will start installing UiPath Studio and the assistant. So once it is installed, it is asking to close my Chrome browser as it will try to install UiPath extension. So I will close the Chrome and then we'll click on OK. It is asking again for Edge. I will again click on OK. So Edge is still open. So we'll let it first close. So I will click on OK now. Then UiPath Studio setup is done. So now you can see there are two applications got installed, UiPath Assistant, UiPath Studio. So we'll now launch UiPath Studio first. To launch, you have to just click on launch UiPath Studio button. So when you launch UiPath Studio for first time, it will ask for the license. So to get the license, you have to click on sign in. It means it will take you to the cloud.uipath.com and it will fetch the license directly from the Orchestrator. So let's see. We'll click on sign in button. So now you can see it is again launching the Chrome browser and then we have to click on open UiPath. So once we click there, it will fetch some license from Orchestrator and then UiPath Studio is activated. So when you first time open UiPath Studio, this pop-up will come. You can just check that don't show again and then you can close it. This is just for tutorial like watch, tutorial or academy. So once you click on any of the button, it will take you to that same page. Now let's click on close button. So this is UiPath Studio community version. Here now we can see we have one tutorial open. So I will close this one as well. Now remember when it opened the Chrome browser, it was showing some extension we have to enable. So here we are. So we will click here and then we enable the extension. So this is UiPath browser automation 24.10. Click on enable extension. So this extension is used when you want to automate anything in the Chrome browser. Without extension, you can't use or automate any of the application from the Chrome application. The same goes to other applications as well. Now in this screen, you have two or three parts. So the first part is the main menu, the second part is open, and the third part is new project. So in the second part, there are two options: open a local project or clone or checkout. So open a local project is like if you have already built some project, you can click here and you can open that project. Clone or checkout is something like you want to get the repository or the code from any source system like Git, TFS or SVN. So you can clone or check out the code from there and you can open it in UiPath Studio itself. In the right side, there is a new project and here four options are there. So the first one is process, which is just a blank project. So whenever you want to start your automation from scratch, you have to select this process and then it will create a blank project for you. Now second one is the library. So library is a kind of a reusable component. So suppose that you want to build something or some part of code and you want to use in other projects as well or in your future projects. So you can create a library and you can reuse it anywhere you want. Now if there is any change comes into that part of the library, you can make the changes at one place and then it can be reflected in other projects just by upgrading the version. The next one is the test automation, which can be used for test automation projects. The fourth one is the template. So if you want to build some template, you can create a template also, which you can use in your future projects. Then the next one is new from template. So UiPath provides various templates for various needs. So here you can see we have attended automation framework or background process or mobile testing orchestration process or robotic enterprise framework. So the RE framework is the most famous framework provided by UiPath, for which we will get into details in the future videos. But this is the overall overview of these templates and the different types of projects. Now let's go to tools. So in the tools you can see we have three options: apps, UiPath extension, plugins. In app, we have UI Explorer, project dependency mass update tool or repair tool. So UI Explorer is just to create selectors or troubleshooting the selectors. We can use UI Explorer. The next one is UiPath extensions. So here you have various options here like Chrome, Edge, Firefox, Java, Silverlight. Many options are there. So to automate these applications like any Java based application, Chrome based application, Edge based application, you have to install this extension. Otherwise, you will not be able to automate any of the applications inside these applications. So like you have some website you want to automate and you want to automate through Chrome browser. So you need to install Chrome extension. Otherwise, you will not be able to automate that website. The same goes to Java, Silverlight or Citrix. Now the next one is plugins. So in the plugins you can see we have Git, SVN, TFS or the test automation plugins. Now template. So template is same as earlier I explained. So UiPath also provides inbuilt template or user can also or community can also build some template. You can also build a template. Now let's go to teams. So team is like here you can set up your source repository or source control. Now go to settings. So in settings you have various options here. So like in the general you can change the theme. So currently it is like I will just change it to dark and now if I restart the whole UI has been changed to dark mode. Then in the design, there are various options. One of the major option is like C# language. So UiPath Studio by default creates a project with VB.NET language. If you want to use C# language, you can enable it. Then also we have various options. One of the option is autosave. So if you want to autosave your project, you can enable this and you can set the interval so that in that particular interval, project will be autosaved. Now you can see the locations, you can set the default locations. In the manage sources you can change the sources, you can add, remove, whatever you want to do. Now we have gone into much details on UiPath Studio. Now let's create a new process. So we'll create a hello world process. Now you can see this is your process window. So here you can see there are two tabs on top, design and debug. In design we have new button. Once you click on new button, there will be various options like you can create a new sequence, flowchart, a state machine or many options are there. Then you have save button. Then you have export as button, like you can export as template or library. Then you have debug options. So suppose that you have built the automation, you can start, like basically you can run, you can debug or whatever you want to do. Then you have this option like copy, paste, undo, redo. Then the next option is manage packages. So once you click on manage packages, you can see many packages listed here. So what are these packages? So suppose that you are automating something, you need to have that dependencies. It's kind of packages built by Microsoft, UiPath, or the community users, or many other companies are there, right? So they create nugget package based on their requirement. So we can use those in our automations. So you can install whatever you want to. Now these are some advanced buttons which we can explore later point of time. The next tab is debug. So here you can see all the buttons are related to debugging your project. So we can explore this later point of time. In the left side you have activities pane, and in the activities you will see all the listed activities which are available or installed in your project. As you can see, we have static activities, we have box activities. So these are activities for which dependency is not added in your project. So if you drag and drop, it will try to install the package from the internet, and once it is installed, then you can start using those activities. Now the next thing is that I don't want to see all the activities here in the activities panel. As you can see, there are two options, installed or available. So what I will do, I will click on filter and I will remove the available one and also the preview one, because I don't want to a preview version of any of the activities. Now the next pane is project. Here you can see all the project files which you have created in your project or which is there by default. The next tab is a snippet. A snippet is like kind of a small or bite-sized YAML files are given by UiPath. In the right side, you can see various pane like properties, data manager, object repository, outline, or two more options are there. We can get into details later point of time, but let's first our first automation. So for that, we will take a message box. Now here you can see there is a message box and I am just typing hello world. So once I have typed it, I will save the file and then click on play button. So once I clicked on play button, you can see now there is a message box, hello world. It means whatever automation we have built, it's running properly. Now the next part, we will use a input dialog where we will get some input from the user and then we will showcase that input from this message box. So let's drag this input dialog and let's add the title of that input dialog. So let's use a pin code as a input. So we'll type just pin code. Then in the input type, there are two options, text box or multiple choice. We will go with text box and then we have to save this value. So if user enters some value, we have to save this in one of the variable. So we have to create a variable here now. So for creating a variable, you can click on plus button and create a variable. So now we have to type a variable name. So we'll go with pin code, press enter. So to see this variable, you can go to variable pane just below. Now you can see there are three options, variables, arguments, imports. We'll go with variables for now. Now you can see whatever variable we created like pin code, it's showing here. Now let's add this pin code variable in the message box. So we have to concatenate this variable. Concatenate means adding into our text or joining two values. So here hello world from is a one value and pin code is the another value. So I am adding this. Now you can see here once I ran this project, it's giving an input dialog pin code. We can enter any value here. So I am just entering 111. Click OK. Now you can see whatever the value we entered, it's showing in the message box. So this was our first project after installing the UiPath Studio. Let you know how is this session in the comment section, and if you have any question, do drop it in the comment section. I will try to answer it, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video so that you don't miss any future updates from my side. Thanks for watching.